Welcome to It Can Get Better Than This. I'm Heather Hodge.
And I'm Dr. Cindy Byler. And today we have a special guest.
Our first guest.
Our first guest, yes. And
Good
this is going to be a special season
Yeah.
because we have a guest. We're going to have 3 guests this season.
Yes.
So we're very excited. Our season is called Autism Through the Lifespan, and we're going to have speech language pathologist and occupational therapist with us this time. So welcome, Melissa Donovan.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
She's our local celebrity around here, one of our local celebrities here. Melissa is a speech and language pathologist and the owner of Donovan Rehab, which is a speech and occupational therapy practice serving children and families throughout Southeast Georgia. With a passion for helping children reach their fullest potential, Melissa specializes in communication disorders, autism, developmental delays, and family-centered care. As both a clinician and business owner, she is a dedicated advocate for improving success to therapy services, particularly children in rural and underserved communities. Melissa frequently collaborates with healthcare providers, educators, community organizations, and policymakers to promote awareness, early intervention, and support for children with special needs. Through Donovan Rehab, she has helped hundreds of children and families access high-quality therapy services while fostering a culture of compassion, excellence, and empowerment. And we are so excited that we have Donovan Rehab in our area.
Yes.
And that we have Melissa Donovan today as a special guest and as a friend.
Yes, I am excited to be here. I'm ready to dive in.
Let's go then. So can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yes, I sure can. So I'm a pediatric speech language pathologist, and I evaluate, diagnose, and treat children from 1 to 21 with various articulation, language, voice, and fluency disorders.
Wow.
Yes, so it's fun. So I basically perform a standardized assessment based off of the parental concerns. I give that child the assessment, and then I score that assessment, and based off of their strengths and weaknesses from the assessment, I create goals, and I address those goals in a treatment plan and come up with different techniques to assist that child to get to where they should be based off those goals.
That's cool.
That's cool.
Yes.
So when did you start Donovan Rehab?
Ooh, Donovan Rehab started a little bit over 11 and a half years ago. So we'll be celebrating 12 years in October.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yes, of being in the community. So we are excited. We are very, very excited. The time has just flown by.
I bet.
It has. But I mean, it's been amazing to be here. We are blessed to be here, and we're just thankful that we can help so many kids in the community.
Yeah. It started with just you, right?
It did. Man, when I started, I did not imagine that it would grow to this size that we have right now. We currently have 2 occupational therapists, and we have 2 other speech pathologists. Another one will be joining us.
Wow.
I'm sorry, 3 speech pathologists, and another one will be joining us. So we are going to have a total of 5 of us there.
Wow. Oh, that's
yes,
awesome.
so we have an office team, a phenomenal office team, billing staff, and so we have grown. It's not just me being the biller and the office manager
Right,
and
doing
the checking
everything.
people in. No, not just me. Now we have a whole team, so we
That's
can
great.
see a lot more kids. So
That's great. In
absolutely.
just almost 12 years, too. That's
Yes.
great growth. And there's a tremendous need, probably not just within our community, but probably this is around our country that we have
Yes,
this kind of a need.
absolutely. In fact, it's actually considered, we have some therapy deserts close to us in surrounding counties. Like if you look at some counties like Long County, Tattnall County, some of those counties actually do not have speech and occupational therapy and physical therapy at all. So we get children that come to us from those counties. And of course, Richmond Hill, they have it there, but they still come from those counties as well. Because there are not a lot of services that are offered at all in their counties.
Wow. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about some facts about autism.
Yes, let's talk about autism. So autism is a spectrum disorder. That means no 2 children are alike. Some children, we say also that it's the invisible disorder. You can't see from the outward appearance that a child has autism. Definitely can't judge it in that way. But we say it's a bio-neurological developmental disability that generally occurs before the age of 3.
So we have a 2-year-old and we are, new to the parenting game. But when we took her to her pediatrician appointments, I think they started screening her for autism at 9 months old, just as a general patient. So I know I've heard before that early intervention is best.
Yes, I think they are definitely starting a lot earlier now. And then I want to say, I don't want to quote this for sure, but I want to say even with babies, they're picking up something in the eyes.
Yes, there's an eye marker that they're developing.
Yeah,
Wow.
so it's like they're diagnosing even earlier.
Right.
So of course we definitely want those parents to go to the pediatrician to express those concerns so that they can get the referral to go to developmental behavioral pediatrician.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so some more facts about autism.
So autism impacts the normal development of the brain in areas of social interaction, communication skills, and cognitive functioning. So some children may have challenges with their verbal and nonverbal communication, their social interactions, their leisure play and activities. And also, even with autism, not just autism, but there are other medical conditions that can co-occur, comorbid medical conditions that can occur with autism. And I think we spoke about this last time.
Yeah. And why that happens is that autism is not just in one part of the brain. It's in different parts of the brain.
Yes.
And one of our favorite sayings is that if you see one child with autism,
There's only one.
I've seen one child.
Right.
Wow.
because if it doesn't affect just one area of the brain or even the same areas of the brain for each person, it can affect different areas of the brain.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
that messes with our neurotransmitters. And so if our serotonin's off, then we can have other, or, that's just as an example, we can have something going wrong with our depression
Yes.
or bipolar disorder. And then some of them have seizure disorder. So the reason for that seems to be that it occupies so many different areas of the brain that it is a comorbid condition.
Yes, there are so many things: schizophrenia, OCD, sleeping disorders, sensory integration, feeding disorders, viral infections, so many different disorders that co-occur with autism. We can't just say it's only autism. A lot of times there is something else going on. But autism is currently diagnosed 4 times more likely in boys than in girls. And the prevalence is not dependent on race, socioeconomic status. Anyone can have autism. Any child can have autism.
They're not even finding yet that it's stronger in other cultures or ethnicities than it is certain ones. It's just across the board.
Yes, across the board. Unfortunately, there's no cure, but with intensive early intervention, you definitely can aid those symptoms of autism so that those children can function more in society and just be prepared when the time comes for them to go to school and stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, there's so many different areas to help these days between ABA therapy and speech language pathology and
occupational therapy. Even some parents branch out and they'll do the equine therapy with the horses. I've had some clients who have just opened up significantly with people because they started out with the horses. And, with horses, they can sense. It's something about horses. Some horses know that, the child is probably overwhelmed. So it's almost like they're more gentle and
cool.
It's really amazing. But a lot of times we have a lot of clients who, they'll be more open to just engaging with the horse or with animals before people. And then it opens them up so that when they get around people, the anxiety is not as high.
Oh, that's really cool. It makes sense.
That's really cool. Do we have something like that in this area?
Yes. Well, I think not specifically in Hinesville, but just on the outskirts. I know we have, I think it's Seats Horse Farm. And there are some others as well too. I don't know the exact names.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if we had something like that here.
But that one, and also I would say even with I would say art therapy, music therapy, so many different types of therapy, outside of speech and occupational and ABA therapy that children can get involved with that help them to flourish socially and academically, and just help them come out of their shells a little bit more, and just help with those behaviors, with calming those sensory behaviors down sometimes.
And I remember even 15, 20 years ago, there was nothing.
Yeah.
I don't even know that autism was much of a diagnosis
No,
back then. Like,
no.
it's come so far.
It has definitely come very far. We definitely, I think back in the day, we used to probably say, oh, well, he's different. You know, they would
Right.
just, you know, the kids would probably be in the corner, just leave him alone. But now it's like we're trying to encourage inclusivity. So,
Right.
Right.
yes, don't just leave him in the corner, involve him, you know, invite him over, you know, invite him to the parties. And
Yes.
yes.
Yes. Now, one of the symptoms that many kids have with autism is that they're nonverbal.
Yes.
I think
yes.
that's like about 40%.
Yes, yes. 40% of children can be nonverbal. But the great thing about that, we say, is not that they don't have a voice. It's not that they're not talking. They're vocal. You can hear them. They're making sounds, but they may need some of them may need a communication device. And it looks like a mini tablet. And on that tablet, there are picture symbols, and they can push those picture symbols to say what they want. So when they push the button on the communication device, it's almost like the communication device speaks for them, like it's their voice.
Oh, wow.
And so sometimes if you see an individual and they might have a communication device around their neck or on their shoulder, you know, give them a few minutes to tell you, you know, hi, or tell you what they want, because that is their voice. That's their mode of communication. So when they're not using their words, they may use a communication device. Some children may use sign language. Some children may use picture symbols and touch those to
It's just
tell
that
you
part
what
of their
they
brain
want.
has not set in to
Yes.
working at that point in their lives.
Yes, and for some children, they'll start off using those communication devices, and they're hearing it auditorily. They're seeing they're seeing the connection of the word that they're saying with the picture. And a lot of them actually do start talking after,
wow.
or start talking even more after they use those
wow.
communication
So those help.
devices.
Oh,
So we
wow.
try to tell parents, don't think because we are suggesting a communication device that we're not going to address, you know, your child actually using words.
Right.
This is used in addition to us emphasizing
Yeah.
the words and the other.
Oh,
We're
that's
just trying to
awesome.
give them opportunities to increase their confidence, so that they're more open to trying and making those mistakes and those errors with the words and sounds. Because
Right.
a lot of children, they have the words and the sounds, but it's like, wait,
can't
should
get
I
'em out.
try it?
Yeah.
Yes. Or it's like, well, when I did that, they responded like that, so maybe I won't try it again. So it's like, oh, wait. So we make a big deal in speech therapy over any sounds. Like if you want something and let's say it's a ball, you say, ah. I was like, oh my goodness. That's
Yeah.
So we make a big deal out of anything. And I tell parents, give them that motivation and that, you know, that support, so that they feel more and more confident internally, so
Yeah.
that they'll try more on their own. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
a wonderful thing.
I'm glad it's come so far. We had a child who was nonverbal in our children's ministry.
Mhm.
And in fact, I was just cleaning out our supply closet, and I found his composition notebook,
there you
because
go.
I wound up giving him, I was like, I know you know how to write. Write down what you're trying to tell me. I will stop all of class to like talk to you.
Yes.
Please write this down. But I just found it, and he's actually very verbal.
Yes, he's very verbal now. Yes.
I have to give it to him, but I hung on to it because it was just such a sentimental.
But the fact that you took the time to even, you know, explore that option for him and didn't
Right.
just like shut him down, you know, that's beautiful. We need more people to just be patient.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Right.
At one point, that wasn't fast enough for him,
Mhm.
so he started asking for my phone so he could just type it faster.
I love
And then he got a communication device or a tablet or something. And the things that he said through the tablet were just like, he knew the specific type of cloud that was in the sky.
Oh,
at
yes,
such
it's
a young
amazing.
age. What? I didn't even remember that from science.
Yes. Yeah, I'll have children that aren't, you know, saying basic words, you know, food, eat, drink, but then they'll know a brontosaurus or a stegosaurus.
Right.
You're like, I don't even know all those different types of dinosaurs.
So the word autism is derived from the Greek word autos, and it means self. The literal meaning of the word autism is alone. And I have at least one special needs kid, and I know that is exactly how I felt many times. Was I felt alone, especially while raising him.
Mhm.
And a lot of special needs families feel very alone,
Mhm.
especially when they're they're judged and criticized for their parenting, and I received plenty of that, especially in the early days, not knowing what was wrong, and then not receiving a diagnosis of autism until he was in his 20s. So it is one thing that we want to reach out to families that have special needs, not just the family member that has special needs, but the entire family.
It's multifaceted too, because it's not like, just from watching your experience and a few of my friends who have children with special needs with autism and everything, it's not just the public. Sorry. It's also, you're getting it on all fronts. It's extended family that doesn't that doesn't understand, maybe a spouse or a partner that doesn't understand, or who's reconciling with the fact that maybe they got it from them, or that it's genetic through their side of the family, or recognizing, maybe I've had this all along. It's out in public, going to the grocery store, the movie theater, the airplane,
right?
And then, the schools, I see like they're getting there with support, but not all schools are, on board or up to date, or even in a heart of understanding.
Yes, I completely agree. There are so many parents that come to us, and because we'll share with them some warning flags. We don't, as speech language pathologists, we don't diagnose autism, but we can express to parents when we see warning flags, and give them the recommendations to take their child to a developmental behavioral pediatrician. And for some parents, they're like, wow, I thought it was just me. I thought I was the only one that saw it. And it's like the amount of almost like relief that goes through some parents when they say, it's not just me thinking, that, there's maybe something else developmentally wrong. You see it too. And they said, I've been trying to tell so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so, but they're not listening to me.
Yeah.
And so the amount of, I guess you can say, just relief, or just feeling as if someone else understands, someone else sees me, I'm not alone with this. That helps a lot of parents, because a lot of parents do hold those feelings to themselves. I will say too, with a lot of the couples that I see, or a lot of parents in general, sometimes I'll have one parent that's very enthusiastic about getting that child everything they need, and then one parent that's like, nothing's wrong with my child. I don't know why my child is here. And there is definitely a period of, it's called, there's a period of, I don't want to say depression, but it's specifically called, is a period where parents almost have to
grieve.
Yes, it's a period of grief, not depression. It's a period of grief where they have to almost grieve the life that they thought their child was going to have. Not saying their child cannot have that life, but it's like the expectations that they had for their child may not be the expectations that are best for that child.
Right. It looks different.
Yes.
Yeah. And that sometimes takes a while for parents to reckon with, even if they accept it, which is the first part of that.
Yes.
Like what, and then there's the fear that's accompanied. What does the future look like? What can my child do? What will adulthood look like for my child?
Yes. And it's really sad. We have some parents that almost like give up. Well, this is your diagnosis. I guess you're not going to be able to do anything. And so we have to give them those encouraging words and say, we're still going to set the bar high. We're still going to challenge your child. And when the parents come into the session and they say, wait, I didn't realize he could do that. I said, we're going to set that bar high. Just because we have a diagnosis doesn't mean we're going to let that be our ceiling. We're still going to challenge our child. We're still going to do everything that we can to help that child be the best that they can in life.
Yes. So. Yeah. And we don't know unless we challenge and unless we work towards that, how much they can accomplish and how far they can go.
Yes. Children amaze me every day. They're amazing. I love working with them.
Okay, let's talk about some symptoms.
Yes. Okay. Some symptoms of autism. So some of the warning flags that we might see are red flags. Some children may not be responding to their name, not playing or engaging in those pretend games. Some may avoid eye contact. Some may want to be alone, play by themselves, even on the playground, going off to themselves constantly, having difficulty showing understanding things, giving answers that are actually related to the questions, or even getting upset by small changes, like changes in routine, like you drive one specific way to McDonald's and when you go a different way, getting upset by that change or that switch, or if they have their toys, in a specific order in the room and somebody comes in and moves a toy,
yes.
or takes or exchanges a toy and it's like a full meltdown.
Right.
So those are just a few warning flags. There are more though.
Yeah, some of them have obsessive interests,
Yes.
like space or dinosaurs or the weather.
Can tell you everything about, and it's amazing. Like I learned so much from my kiddos. I was like, I didn't know that myself. They're like, Miss Melissa, did you know so and so? I said, really? They're telling me these complex vocabulary words, but it's like those things are interesting to them. But sometimes when it comes to the basics, tell me what you want. Let's use a simple sentence. They're like, no, I don't want to. That's not interesting. But if I incorporate space or cars or animals,
Right.
absolutely, I would participate with it all. So, yes, it definitely depends. Definitely
It's
depends.
so funny.
Some of them may have unusual reactions to sound. So you may see some children, not just children, adults. We have the noise canceling headphones, and I think this is not just for individuals with autism. This is individuals in general. With calming the sensory system, sometimes blocking out some of those noises so that you're not overwhelmed and overstimulated by everything going around in your environment helps you to calm down. You might see a lot of individuals with, the small headphones in their ears, like they're listening to music, but are they really listening? We don't know. But it's like everybody has different compensation techniques to help to calm our sensory systems down. Like if, we're going into Walmart, the lights are flickering, there's people everywhere, I may go during the early morning hours, or I may shop online because, it may be overwhelming to me. And so I am able to determine or figure out different ways to adjust so that my sensory system isn't overwhelmed. But with our kiddos with autism, they don't necessarily know how to calm their sensory systems on their own.
One of the symptoms is that many children with autism have low to no social skills. And they also avoid or resist physical contact. So it's important when you have a child that is, or an adult that doesn't want to hug, isn't like showing that they're backing away, they're not coming to you, to really respect that. Especially we have family members, many times aunts, uncles, grandparents expect the hug or the kiss or something like that. And the child is just, or the adult is just doesn't want that. And instead of forcing the affection shown, we need to be more sensitive to let them show the affection that the way that they're comfortable with, rather than forcing it on that child.
Yes. On that same token, yes, we do have some kids with low to no social skills, but we have some kids who have an abundant amount of social skills, but then they don't understand personal space and boundaries and they think everybody is their friend and they have no stranger danger and they'll go with anyone and they'll talk to anyone. It's like, oh, okay, let's talk. And so even with those kiddos, we have to explain, okay, personal space, we shoulder length apart. When we talk to people, we don't talk to them, in their face. Or if somebody is backing away or, waving goodbye, that means, let's end the conversation. So, so we have some kids with, like we said, it's a spectrum disorder. So some kids low, little social skills, some kids overwhelming amount of social skills.
We had one kid, I've worked with children in like several different jobs now. I had one kid who was kind of getting outcasted because of the personal space issue. And I brought in a child size hula hoop, like the little hula hoop. And I said, this is a bubble.
I like that.
When you get into their bubble, they get uncomfortable. Why? I'm like, I know, I'm sorry. But
the visual
this is the bubble.
Great. I love it. That's a great visual.
She carried that hula hoop for like the whole class, just
like, you're too close to my bubble.
She's like, am I in your hula hoop bubble? They're like, I don't have a hula hoop. I'm like, oh no.
Oh my goodness. Even with that, we also have like little to no, for some of them it's like little to no safety or danger awareness. Some of them almost make me nervous because, because some of the parents will talk to me, they're like, they'll climb up to the top of the ladder and just jump off with no regard for anything. It's like, they're not, it's like, oh, fearless, and just not realizing, okay, if I go up here, I could hurt myself, I could
Right.
break something. Some of them do have that high pain tolerance too. But when it comes to that awareness of maybe I shouldn't do this because it's too high, I might hurt myself, we find that that's very, very low in our kiddos on the spectrum.
Yeah.
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 Water is
Yes.
such a
Oh, man.
hazard to children with autism for some reason. It seems like they're drawn to it.
Yes, it's something about water. I don't know if it's the movement, the sound, but a lot of our kiddos, they are drawn to it, and even if they're with parents and stuff, a lot of times they can find that water. So we have to be just very, very aware. If we see any kids going towards water, or if you see a child that is not with an adult, just I would say, as an adult, just perk your ears up, or probably, go a little close to just make sure that child is okay. And
Yes.
because a lot of times if it's a kiddo with autism, they're going to go straight into that water
Right.
without any regards to who's around them. So as a parent, or not just a parent, but as an adult, as an individual, just you be aware. And if you see something that is a little concerning, or a child going towards some water that doesn't have an adult around them, definitely, keep an eye on it, or, call out to an adult, or just go a little bit closer so you can intercede if needed.
Better safe than sorry,
Yes.
for sure.
Yes, absolutely.
Better parent be upset that you're interfering than
Yes.
something
And the child
terrible
get hurt or
happens.
something.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So another symptom of autism is stimming.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Can you explain a little bit about stimming?
Yes. So I would say children all stim in different ways. For some children, they may flap their arms. For some children, they may jump up and down. For some children, they may cover their ears and yell. Different children do different stimulation behaviors for different reasons, but what we found is that those stimulation behaviors actually help them to relax and calm themselves. It's almost like a self-calming technique. When they're in an environment that is overwhelming, when they're covering their ears and jumping up and down, it's almost like them blocking out some of the sound or some of the items happening in their environment so that they don't get as overwhelmed. So some of the some of the self-stim behaviors may not be appropriate. And, sometimes we try to redirect it to make it a little bit more appropriate. But sometimes we allow them to just be themselves. And I know at Connection Church, one great thing that I love, when you have kids with special needs here, if they're jumping up and down, even if there's no music playing, you all just let them be.
Right. Then
and
they're
just
jumping up and down.
be
right?
themselves. They could be excited. They could just be, enjoying themselves, but, we just let them be. And so the beautiful thing is just allowing those kids to just be themselves. But most parents do know what kind of self-stimulation behaviors the children will do. And so they usually kind of give them that space to allow them to do it. We don't usually try to automatically stop that child all the time, because we do recognize that sometimes it's a regulation. They're trying to regulate what's going on with their sensory system. So, yeah.
One of the things that I found helped with my son was swinging. So we constantly had to swing around.
Yes. The swinging, for some kids, it's like the deep pressure. We put the weighted vest or a backpack with items inside of it. For some, is the deep pressure with squeezing their arms. For some, it's like the brushing their brushes that calm you brush them down the arms and the legs and just calms them down a little bit. We have trampolines, and for some it's the monkey bars, hanging, the bean bag, falling into the bean bag repeatedly, or the crash pad over and over and over. But our occupational therapists, they help to regulate those stimming behaviors so that the children can be able to relax and calm down so that they can participate in different things. And we do some too, in therapy. If I have a kiddo that's overly energetic, I was like, okay, well, instead of working at the table, we're going to stand up and work on these verbs. So you're going to show me how we kick. You're going to show me how you clap. We're going to be skipping around the room. So sometimes we have to move our whole body in order to kind of help calm those sensory systems down so those stimming behaviors don't take over.
Right?
because they can definitely take over the sessions. And I tell parents too, we allow them to do that, but we also, sometimes we do redirect it as well to get them to focus on what they need to focus. But we give them their time too to STEM as well. So.
Right. It's funny, the balance, I guess.
Yes.
Like probably also trying to regulate or determine when is this helpful and when are they
yes
to a meltdown or out of control. And it could be either.
Absolutely. Sometimes it's hard to tell. Some parents know kind of when it's coming on. They're like, uh-oh, something coming. Let's let them, But yeah.
Thank you for joining us for It Can Get Better Than This. This was just part 1 of our interview with Melissa Donovan, and next week will be part 2.
Right. So join us next week for even more information on autism through the lifespan. And remember, it can get better than this. Bye.